had like, you guys remember like Paper Bag Boys and all those like rap songs?
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, what a time, bro.
That was a crazy time.
What a time to be alive.
Music was top tier.
Dude, tapping into BET. I used to watch BET daily, bro. 106 in Park.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. What was I doing? Just go home.
I don't know. Yeah.
The Jersey Shore. That was like a
Jersey Shore.
Bro, my quarterback for my football team would watch Jersey Shore, and the nights that it would come out was like Thursday night. So like Friday, he would always be super tired. I'm like, bro, we got a football game today. He's like, yeah, I know, but the new Jersey Shore came out last night. I'm like, gosh, man.
Oh no, dude. Yeah, Jersey Shore was what destroyed our society for sure. That show did so much for us and so little.
I think they're doing another spin-off.
Oh my god, dude.
I'm pretty sure.
They did like 6 already.
Are you gonna watch it?
They've done 6? No, I was just watching the Nelk Boys podcast, and they had
dude, the Nelk Boys.
They had what's his face on
Pauly
there?
D.
Pauly D. Yeah.
Is he good?
That's a good one.
Is he good, DJ?
He doesn't have. He just uses
put
other
it
people's
closer?
songs.
Yeah, well, actually, just.
Oh, I could rotate it, bro.
He
I
only
was
has a couple
scared to like
songs he
break it,
produced.
so I just.
So our only thing is this table's a little wobbly, but.
Alright.
Yeah, you can move it around, like
Oh, okay, sick.
bring it up and down.
This is
Yeah, get
a
comfy.
little more comfortable. You can do that.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Okay, great. I'll do this.
And move it around as you.
Dude, I probably will because I'm like one of those guys that be talking with my hands, you know?
Yeah, that's actually good.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Did you guys watch TRL? Were you guys like avid TRL
Oh,
guys?
yeah.
Oh, dude,
What's
I
that?
love TRL.
MTV.
Yeah, MTV, dude.
I don't know, man. I missed it.
Total
I was watching
Total Request
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Live.
Total Request.
Total Request Live, baby. Come on.
I don't know what that is, man.
Dude, you know.
Music videos, baby.
Yeah, top 10 music videos. And then, bro, that's why. Okay, look,
Yeah.
this is my theory on life. All right. You put me on the aux, I'll give you like 45 seconds one song. I'll skip it to the next one. I'll do like a minute. Now the next one, and then 30 seconds. Because when I was watching TRL, they'll only give you 30 seconds of a music
Little
video.
snippets. Yeah, yep.
They give you the chorus, and that's it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Oh,
we
so
gotta
you
move on.
skip
We gotta
yours-
add. We gotta add.
You're a song skipper?
Oh, dude, I skip. I just play my favorite part of the song, and
Yeah.
then I'm done with it. I'm like, I don't even like this song anymore.
Me too. I'm the same way. People get so upset. They're like, "Ooh, the song wasn't finished."
They're like, choose a song already. I was like, bro, I chose 10 in the last 2 minutes. What
Yeah.
do you mean, dude?
Yeah, your numbers are different.
Yeah, dude.
Do you think when you're going to be talking, naturally you'll kind of be like.
That ATM is so bright. Maybe not for you guys, but for me,
Dude, it just hits that.
it's like
They got the angle.
you could
right
catch
on it.
trout with that light.
Bring the ATM, dude. We catch trout today. You guys fish?
the
You
light
guys
bar
fish?
right
You
on
guys fish?
I tried a couple times, but man, last time I went, it was so cold. New Year's Eve with my uncle, and we were trying to fish for steelhead.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, it's the fish of 1,000 casts. And like I was like, all right, so this is what fishing's about,
Dude,
But I caught one, and he's like,
Oh,
that's
damn.
beginner's luck. I was like, I don't know, man. I think your numbers are off,
Bro,
but
I've been fishing like twice in my life. First time I caught something. Second time, it was like me, my uncle, and then my nephew. And, bro, we were out there hours, and I was like, man, I'm starving.
Yeah.
You packed the lunchbox with like nothing but fish stuff.
yeah.
I can't eat those worms, bro. I'm not eating that.
Yeah. You have your sandwich bags, and they have like the night crawler, just junk all in the bag. You're just like, it's a different kind of.
I'm like, bro, this bread is moldy. Uncle, what are you doing, dude? Yeah.
That's funny. Everybody's got a story like that. I feel like.
No, but we don't. I don't
story.
I don't really go fishing. Other than that,
Dude, and my favorite is like all the idioms that like old people have, you know, like that one, the fish of 1,000 casts. Like, who told you that?
Yeah, where'd that come from? Is there a fucking
fun
handbook
fact,
for this?
steelhead.
Who lied to you? Because it's not true, dude.
Someone felt bad and was just rationalizing.
Yeah. Just making things up.
Are we rolling? Okay, cool.
Oh, fire. Great.
Sweet.
It's like,
All right, everybody. Welcome to episode 4 of the Offline Podcast. Thank you guys for watching, tuning in. We're feeling the love. We're getting into our rhythm, so thank you. Like and subscribe because it helps us out. So I am joined by my two co-hosts, Brandon and Cameron.
Arthur. Arthur?
Oh,
Oh,
man.
my
God. Bro, I'm the name guy.
We gotta reset
I'm
it,
the
bro.
name guy.
I feel like we gotta reset that.
You do, dude.
I was coming in cold. All right. All right, let's start over.
Run it back.
Run it back. I don't need another take. Yo, welcome to episode 4 of the Offline Podcast. Here's the deal. I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Arturo and Brandon. I'm your host, B. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the love and support. Thank you for liking and subscribing. We appreciate it. So thank you guys. Today we're joined by special guest, Jay. He's most commonly known for his brand Coover, especially in the area, but he's a designer. He makes things. So thank you for joining us today, man.
Of course, yeah, my pleasure, man.
Yeah.
You guys.
Welcome.
Thank you.
First podcast.
First podcast. I don't do interviews much, like I was telling my boy Arthur over here. I just kind of stay low key, and pop out every once in a while. So thank you guys for having me on and inviting me here. And
Yeah, appreciate it then.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I want to jump right into it. Can we start with like your journey to your spot right now? I know you have a lot going on, and we'll get to that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's important for people to kind of see, the path that it took you. So can you start somewhere, wherever?
Okay. Just I guess quick rundown of my life. I've drawn my whole life, so
Yeah.
I mean it's a given for me, and it's just the thing that for me just allowed me to kind of like you find things like as a youth to that just you gravitate to, and you feel they make you feel good, and art was always that for me. So I always drew, and I always stuck to it. And then like growing up through like middle school and stuff, it's what people identified me as. They're like, yo, that's Jay, that he draws,
Yeah.
ask him to draw something, he'll do it. And so for me, it was super dope that people would just ask me that or identify me as an artist. And so I designed my first shirt when I was in 8th grade. I did like a ski and snowboard t-shirt for this guy. His name was Mr. Shirtsma.
Really?
Yeah, ironically enough, right? But it was so dope because what this guy taught me was that I did a sketch, and he was like, yo, I'm I do the ski and snowboard club, like you should do a design for us, because he knew I was always drawing. And so I did it, and for me, what that moment did to me, it was like, it showed me like, yo, this could be like a real thing, right? Because what he did was he took my design. He had a friend of his that was a graphic designer. So then he took my sketch, gave it to that guy. That guy vectorized it and made it look like an actual graphic. And then he went and got those shirts printed, and then he gave me one. He was like, yo, look what you made. And I was like, oh, this is insane, right?
Yeah, as an 8th grader? Yeah,
as an 8th grader,
insane.
yeah.
So he basically like made it, he made something out of it. So you like saw like what your potential was and like what you could do, huh?
And showed me the process too, because like all I did was, bro, I gave him a sketch on like lined paper, like college ruled paper,
yeah.
I hated that kind.
Yeah, and so that's what I did. And then I did that, and he showed me like what it could turn into, and I thought it was like amazing. Like it just did so much for me. And then that was in 8th grade. I used to live in Vegas, and so then fast forward a little bit, we moved here to Tri-Cities, and then let's see, I went through a bunch of family stuff. I actually stopped drawing for a little while, probably like a year or something like that. And but then in high school, I just always had that like label. They're like, yo, he draws, he does this, even though I'd like hadn't drawn for a year. They're like, yo, he still draws, he's good at it. And then like, and I've always had this also like this innate belief that like there's nothing in the world that I cannot draw, right? And so like I've just always believed that about myself, and I've always identified with that as well. So it's part of my identity, And then I designed 2 more shirts. So I helped my uncle. He was like he did like house remodeling, and like he would just flip houses. And in one of the houses that we ended up moving into, in the basement, there's like this screen printing kit. And he was like, just take it, it's yours. And I was like, bro, what? I was like, all right, cool. And so I ended up butchering out these like 2 shirts. And then, bro, ironically enough, right, we're talking about Kanye. So one of the designs that I made was, so one of them said hello world because it was like a Lil Wayne lyric, you know, and like he always says like hello world. And so I was like, I thought it was like so dope. And so then I did, one said hello world, and then the other shirt was the Kanye shutter glasses, like literally so freaking big, dude. Like the arm right here had like the side of the glasses was just massive. And so I did those 2 shirts. People really liked them. Put them on my MySpace, you know. I was like,
MySpace.
Yeah, made these shirts.
Yeah. Does Lil Wayne still influence you today?
Dude, yes, I love Wayne, man.
I got stopped by a lady cop.
Bro, Wayne,
That was like the hardest line.
Bro, growing up, man, Wayne was like all my middle school years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, man. And so basically designed those 2 shirts. That was like 11th grade. And then 12th grade, I designed our senior year T-shirts. And then people loved them. And then they sold them, whatever. And yeah. And
Did you feel like that like positive energy that people were giving you like made you feel like more valued, or did you still like the process of doing it? What was like more the bigger driver?
Man, great question. I don't know. I really didn't even think of it really in terms of like value, man. Like I was just so in my own like space in my own head and stuff because I just was going through like a really crazy time in just my personal life with like my family and stuff.
Yeah.
To where, man, I didn't even think of it like I don't know. I just thought, I was like, yeah, I could do that. Like, sure. Like, why not, you know? And like, I mean, I still always considered myself an artist, but I didn't consider myself an artist as in like that gave me value, right?
Yeah.
I still felt pretty like lost in the world. And I don't know, you know, it's interesting.
I was just curious, yeah, because you know maybe that drove you, especially. I mean, when you're young, you get influenced so easily, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm just curious,
bro. And when you're young, like this is like one thing that I feel like, you know, we were talking about earlier when like getting old, right? Or like your health is important. I feel like like when people get old isn't when they're like physically old, it's just like mentally. Like you could die mentally 10 years before you die physically, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
And so yeah, man, it's just so interesting. And so
sorry, I really threw you off your track there, but
no, yeah.
But yeah, you stopped. So you stopped designing for a little while.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I and then I did those 2 shirts, right? The Kanye shutter glasses and the other one.
Those are fire too, by the way.
Dude, no,
I had them.
I did.
You can't even see, but you know they're like, man, I'm so cool with these.
No, dude, I felt so dope because like, bro, it was crazy. Okay, so as far as value goes, right? We're gonna go back to that. It's like when I wore those shirts and people were like, "That's a dope shirt." I was like, they don't even know I made it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like in my head, bro. I was like, bro, hey, go get it at Hot Topic. They're like, I went. It's not even there.
You're messing with it a little bit. Yeah,
I know it's not there. And so
that's crazy.
Yeah, man. So then my senior year, I did that, and then man, I didn't. So again, so to touch on your question again, I didn't even consider myself as I considered myself an artist, but it didn't give me enough value to where I was like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do for a living, right?
Yeah.
I actually went to CBC. I went there for 2 years, got my AA, and then I made this move to Seattle. And I was like, I'm gonna go to UW, right? And bro, I made a whole move, man. Moved my entire life to Seattle.
Yeah.
And I didn't even get accepted. So I was there and didn't even get accepted. Yeah.
Dang.
Wow.
And so
We don't like UW anyways. Here because we got a big Coug over here.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Coug,
Coug.
yeah.
Yeah, dude, go Cougs.
Go Cougs.
I support everyone, you know. And so, yeah, man, went up there. And then at that time when I was at CBC, me and my brother, I mean, we were just so into streetwear. I mean, I don't know if you guys are like into that community at all, but it's like, man, at that time was like the renaissance of streetwear, right? You have Supreme, Undefeated.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got
Yeah.
Mishka. You got A New York Thing. You got The Hundreds, obviously, is a huge one. Diamond Supply, and then, you know, Black Scale. I mean, the list goes on and on. This is like Odd Future is getting their shine on.
This is like 2011, 2012.
Yes, exactly, bro. So like on Tumblr, like Tumblr was like my safe haven where I was like, all these people think just like me. And I really felt like, man, like not my entire life, but like for a good chunk of like my youth, I always felt so outcasted because like I moved around when I was young. I moved almost every single year up until I was in like 3rd grade, and then I moved to Mexico, and then it was like, dude, what? Right? And
How was that?
Dude, it was interesting. I actually loved it. I love Mexico. I still go there all the time. And so, but we lived in this one, like, it's like a smaller town, right? So basically, like, let's say Washington is in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
I literally lived in like the Tri-Cities version of Mexico because it was like
Okay.
small town, you know?
Yeah.
But I went to a private school.
Okay.
And so it was like, oh, they got money. They're from America. They got money. I was like, bruh, no, dude, I'm just as poor as everybody else here, you know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so then we moved every single year, man. And so when I went to sixth grade through 8th grade was the first time I went to the same school more than 1 year. So, bro, 4th grade, 5th grade, I went to this one school named Ruthie Deskin, and then I moved and went to this other school named Dean Allen, right? And then 6th grade comes, bro, I was popping because Dean Allen and Ruthie Deskin both went to Levitt, right? And so at Levitt, I had so many friends. Like, I just knew people from both schools and stuff. And so sixth grade through 8th grade was like some of my favorite times in life because like just life was all right, you know? Like, I was going through some stuff at home, but like going to school was like, bro, I was having so much fun. I just knew so many people. Bro, I was wearing tall tees, you know?
Dude, that's the best feeling. I went to a small school like my whole life, and then finally I'm in a job now where like there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people. So I feel like, oh, this is what high school would have been like if I was like
If I stayed.
Yeah,
If I went to the same school.
Yeah. So it is. I get what you're saying. Like, I want to wear tall tees right now. Like,
Dude,
that's how I feel.
Yeah, fashion is a cycle, bro. So we're about 2 years out, and people are gonna be wearing that. Dude, baggy jeans are back, right?
Baggy jeans.
Yeah, I like that look.
Dude, yeah, baggy jeans are back. So I mean, give it a year and a half. We got Air Force Ones, bro. Air Force Ones right now are the stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so I just give it another year, bro. We about to hit 2011. We about to hit 2011 again, you know.
I remember when
Wow.
Converse were like they were so hot. Like Converse was, and that was probably like around like Lincoln Park times. Like
Lincoln Park, Blink 182,
Yeah.
bro. Come on now.
yeah.
Green Day.
Green Day,
Day.
dude.
Green Day.
Wake me up when September ends, right? What a classic, dude. See, all those times, bro, we about to spend 30 minutes just reminiscing.
I
on
know,
all the
man.
times, bro.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Does any of that kind of stuff like influence your art? Like artists like in music or?
So, man, okay. Yes, because like I was saying, that like golden era of like Tumblr, man, there's like, it's so crazy because that golden era of Tumblr, like everything that is like popping right now in culture is like, man, it came from that era, right? So like, man, Frank Ocean, you know, Odd Future. There's a brand now that's called Jound, right? And the guy that owns it, his name is Justin Saunders. That dude was on Tumblr, and his Tumblr was like, bro, Kanye was on his Tumblr like asking people like, is this Jound enough, right? And so like, yeah, it's crazy. And so like all the things that there was ASAP Mob, everyone from ASAP Yams to ASAP Rock, all those guys, they all got their start because they were so hot on Tumblr. And there's like, bro, you could just go on and on about how like that golden era of like Tumblr was. And so that influences my art like crazy because it's like, man, we lived in this like, or like I was always up on there like literally daily, bro. This is like when I got my first iPhone which was like the first one. Like, bro, I always wanted an iPod, right?
Yeah.
And I never got one. And so literally at one time I had the option. My mom was like, what you want, braces or you want a phone? I was like, yeah, hook me up with the braces. And so I never got the phone. And then eventually I ended up buying my own phone. First thing I got was Tumblr. Cause I was always on the computer, bro. Like, man, okay. So I was on Tumblr, like looking at all these things. This is like middle school time. And during middle school, what I found like solace in and what gave me joy was I was on daily. I was on this website called 50mm Los Angeles. And it was like this website, and bro, all they post is just graffiti that's around town. In LA, I didn't even live there. And I just seen it, and so my exercise, what I would do is they would post a picture on their like blog type thing of the piece of the day, right? And it would always be these crazy amazing styles, and I would do that person's style, but then I would do whatever name I wanted. Or if someone said draw me a picture, I'll be like, all right, today I'm drawing Josh's name, but I'm gonna do it in this style, right? And so that was like an exercise for me, and I didn't even know it, right? So I feel like that's how I developed kind of like my skill in my eye. And again, like that right there is like such a huge influence, because a lot of those people that I would like copy, bro, a lot of those people became super famous. We had, bro, back in the day, it was like, there was like Banksy. Banksy was like popping. And all he had was, this is before he had the rats, he had these monkeys, and it was like, laugh now, but one day I'll rule the world or something like that. And I just thought it was like next level. I was like, yo, this guy's crazy. There's like so many people, man. Agor, there's this other guy named Retina that was like this guy Retina went from being a graffiti artist to going to selling at the Gagosian, right? Like selling his pieces for hundreds of thousands of dollars. And like that to me was like super inspiring, because like even then, like, you know how you asked me about value, right?
Yeah. Even
then I was like, wow, they did that. They're going from the streets and they're going to like sell a piece or a drawing or whatever for like money. You know what I'm saying? And so just seeing that type of stuff, I was like, yo, like I always felt like the artist stereotype, or like choosing that was always like for me, it was always like a fantasy, like, I wish I could do that, you know, like I wish I could be an artist, even though I identified myself as, right? But like my parents, bro, they were like strict Mexican parents. They're like, you're going to be a lawyer. You're going to be a lawyer, buddy.
You should be, lawyer. Yeah, I got the lawyer too.
Yeah, dude, the lawyer or a doctor. And I was like, damn, dude, I don't even like putting a Band-Aid on. Bro. Come on now. And so, yeah, man, that's what inspires me the most, is like just, and I wouldn't even say like inspiration, because like all we do as people is like we build these like visual libraries, right? And if you think about it, we all have our own of like an aesthetic or like a look or things that we like, right? And we always reference that, right? Even with music, like you just build this like a catalog of music that you like, and what does your most liked songs or your recently played become? It's just that catalog, you know, that catalog.
Pop Smoke.
Yeah, dude. It's like whatever you like, that's what it becomes, you know? And so, yeah, man, what inspires me is, I don't know, like I wake up every day and I get to breathe and I get to be alive, and that's inspiration enough. And I feel like it should be inspiration enough for everybody that does anything, bro. If you find joy in the little things in life like that, then I mean anything is possible, you know.
That's the biggest win right there.
Oh, death, bro.
But so backing up, so that's how Banksy got like all that recognition. He was on Tumblr.
No, he was on 50mm Los Angeles, and 50mm Los Angeles is kind of like a Tumblr, but it was like it was like an online magazine.
It was like a blog.
It was like a blog, yeah. And he was on there like, bro, all the time, and he was like from the UK or wherever he was from, and going to LA, and he just went to LA and did those pieces.
Yeah.
And bro, they like people were like tripping. Like he did one that's like on what's that street? It's like, it's not Fairfax, but I think it's on Melrose. I'm not sure. Anyways, he did this one that's like up on like above on a second story of a building, but the building next to it is like one story, right? So you can like see it from the street. And it was like this rat with a big old paintbrush, and it had a quote or something. And it was just so crazy because to me, it looked like this rat painted that, right? And that was the illusion that he was given.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, bro, that to this day is like what I try to achieve with every idea that I do. It's just like, if you can make it do something, but it's just a static image, it's just like, man, it's just so next level. Like, I know it's like so nerdy and so
no,
like,
it's not nerdy, dude. No, I like it. I get inspired by art, dude. My buddies would make fun of me because I met this artist, Cheyenne Randall, dude, from Seattle. Like, I went to his like, so in Seattle they had like this monthly like studio space that would open up, and like an artist could like showcase their work. And he had this idea of like photoshopping tattoos over celebrities. Like that was his thing. And he did one of like James Franco and Lana Del Rey, and James Franco and Lana found it, and it blew him up. And so I met him, and I was like, you know what, like his stuff is kind of sick. So like I have it on my wall, so every time I do walk by it, I always think of something, you know what I'm saying? Like it does inspire me for sure. So I get what you mean.
Is that the same guy that did, what was that other one that popped off recently?
Yeah, he did one of Travis Barker and Courtney, and it popped off. So, and he's just like a chill dude that just went for it and, you know, made an impact. But I get what you're saying. Like his work, I'm willing to like buy his work because I like him, but also like the emotion it gives me, like, oh, a tatted like you know, like Selena or something like that. Just like, it's just like a different vibe. It's like, oh, I wonder like what she would have been like if she's all tatted, you know what I'm saying? Like it gave me a different perspective,
bro. And that's the thing, man. Like art in all forms, right? This is an art form. Like art is literally everything, man. Like you think about it, like anything that we see or we do or whatever, like it's art because someone had to create that, right? Like
visualize.
Yeah, bro. Like you think about, look, this is how crazy sometimes I be thinking. Like, you ever think about the alphabet, right? And then the alphabet is literally just a series of lines organized in a certain way, and then someone somewhere assigned these attributes to it that was like A sound like I, and then that B, it looked like it sounded like B. Right? And then
essentially,
the whole world was like, yeah,
just agreed. It
and like, makes sense.
Yeah. And like then they're like, what happens if we like put them together? They're like, you can make words.
Crazy stuff can happen.
Yeah. And so like that's art, right? It's just objects. It's just lines. It's like everything that we do, like like you're speaking, you know, you speak, and that's an art form of itself. You know, the art of communication is a beautiful thing, and the podcast is bringing back that art, right? Because a lot of people, like, bro, you go to the bar, everybody talking, nobody saying nothing, right? You're like, damn.
Yeah, it's language, man. It's just it's a weird thing.
It's insane, bro. You can have a whole conversation. You're like, man, I don't even know what we was talking about. It was just sitting there, I don't know.
3 hours passed, you know.
You're like, so all right, man.
Bar bill's high. So.
Yeah, dude. That's why the barbershop is popping, bro. You be talking to your barber, you're like, ooh, that was a good conversation.
Yeah, I tell them about stuff I'm going through. Like, man, dude.
Yeah, you just
been heartbroken, man.
Yeah. Bro, you a barber, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
dude, see?
Legacy Barbershop.
Dude, Legacy. Shout out Legacy, bro. Because barbers, bro, that's an art form. One, you cutting the hair is an art form because, bro, I tried to cut hair before. It wasn't happening for me. But it's like, man, all like the experience and all that is an art form too, bro. The space, the way it's curated, all that is art. Because, bro, you ever been to a place? It's like Starbucks. You go to Starbucks, right?
Yes.
Bro, every Starbucks you go to feels so comfortable.
Yep. I want my home to feel like that.
That's right.
When I get home.
That's right, bro. You
Yeah.
just want to be chilling in there. You're like, man, this Starbucks feels so good. Like, I just want to chill here for hours, you know?
Yeah.
And so, like, whoever designed that space, they knew exactly what they were doing because, like, that's the point, right? This space right here, like, the design of this place is, like, it's incredible, too, because you come here and you're like, man, like, it just looks so dope. And you just want to, like, have fun. You just want to enjoy it. You know what I mean? It's, like, open space. You just, like, this area right here, like.
Well, the vibe, nothing like it in Tri-Cities. So that's part of the reasons why we wanted to, you know, team up with Joey. And
Dude, shout out Joey.
Yeah, shout out Joey in flight. So.
You like want to know like where do these stairs go? You know what I'm saying? Like you want to go up there, like
or like you know, like even this, you know, like where it says catch flights, not feelings, right? You're like, who thought of that? Because like I'm feeling like that right now.
Yeah, I feel you.
You read it, you walking in, you read it, you like, that's right. I'm gonna catch a flight right now. I'm gonna book something out.
So going back to your story a little bit.
Yeah.
So you were in, I think we left off, you were in Mexico? And then you came back?
Yeah, man. So I was moving every single year. And so sixth grade through 8th grade is first time I went to the same school for a while. And then right after 8th grade, I moved here. Bro, I didn't even know I was going to move here. We came up here, like my mom, my stepdad was like, oh yeah, we gonna visit your aunts and uncles, you know, this and that. And I was like, all right, cool. We came up here. It was like, bro, I was doing football, right? Because like I said, I didn't even find value as an artist. I was like, man, I want to be a football player, right? I want to be an athlete. I want to do something. And so I was like, yeah, I'm doing football. So I was doing football camp. And then we had a bye week. And then on that bye week, we came here. Bro, I never went back. They were like, yeah, we not.
It's the perfect time to bounce.
Yeah, they're like, we hope you said bye because you really not going back.
A different meaning of bye week.
Dude, definitely. They played me. I was so played, bro. And yeah, man, it was like such a crazy time. And so, yeah, we moved here. And then I went to Southridge High School for 4 years. And I was like, bro, my mom ended up moving away. She moved. And I was like, nah, I'm not doing that again. Like, and so I could have been in Scottsdale, but I was like, nah, like, it's just, man, like, I don't know about you guys, but like, like doing a move is like so taxing, right?
Yeah.
Not just physically, you got to move all this stuff from one place to the next. You got to you got to design your home to be a home, right? And I was just done with that. I was like, nah, I'm not doing that again. Especially like, bro, like for me, what I love, like what I truly, truly love is like, I love talking to people. I love connecting with people. I love listening to people. I really do love that, right? And I realized that. And then in high school, I was like, man, like, again, where I left off was that I always felt outcasted. And that's why I was telling you guys that I've always moved every single year. Mm-hmm. And I always felt outcasted for that reason. Because, like, you go to these places, you're like, oh, I've known so-and-so since I was in first grade, you know, or something like that. And even when I went to Southridge, it's like, bro, a lot of these kids went to football camp together in 3rd grade, you know, or 6th grade, they were playing Pop Warner or whatever. And so I felt like I didn't really have any friends. I felt like so alone in the world because, like, I was like, man, I don't even, like, nobody knows me, one, and two, like, I don't really know nobody either, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why I gravitated towards art, was because I was like, you know, if nobody knows me, at least this pen is my friend and I could draw whatever I want. And, you know,
kind of a way to express yourself, who you are.
Yeah, exactly. And let the time pass. For me, that's what it was. It was just like, I don't have to really like talk to anybody or do anything. I could just pass the time and enjoy it, you know, and draw things. And like, I'd be like, and then, you know, that's where I started developing that, like, you know, you start asking questions like, what would happen if I did this, right? And I started asking that about my art. So like if I was drawing like I don't know, at that time I was doing a lot of graffiti. So I was like, oh, what would happen if I added an arrow? I seen an arrow on this piece, I'm gonna add one right here. What would happen if I do that? And so I started developing all those types of like, that type of thought process, I guess, about the whole art thing. And so, but yeah, art was what made me feel complete, I guess, or made me feel like not alone, was just being able to draw and stuff. And so, yeah, and so yeah, man, and so I did that. That was in high school, and I always felt outcasted because of that. Never really knew anybody. So in high school, I was like, I'm gonna stay here. I'm not moving. Told my mom, sorry, you dipping. I'm not. And so yeah, man, me and my sister stayed. I was like 14. My sister was like 15, and so I've lived by myself since I was 14, 15. Right?
Oh wow.
Dang.
Yeah, and so we went through high school, and then some friends moved in, whatever. And then went to CBC, and then ended up moving to Seattle, and then that's when I didn't get accepted to UW. Bro, I didn't get accepted to UW 3 times. I think it was 3 times. And then I came back for summer, and I was like, you know what? When I'm in class, I'm drawing. When I'm at work, I'm drawing. When I'm just on the bus going to these places, like, I'm just thinking about drawing, right? And so, like, I'm just going to draw. And so I came back home, and that's when we started the brand. Me and my brother, we started the brand, and he's always been like my biggest supporter. Shout out on something, Onzo, my brother Fonzie. And so since day one, man, we've always done that. And yeah, we were so into that Tumblr era. We were so into the streetwear, into the hundreds and all these things. I remember he went on vacation and he brought me back my first 100 shirt ever. And I just loved it so much, and I was like, "Oh." Is
it true that Coover is short for Vancouver Street?
It is, yeah, man. Because I've always lived. So when I moved here to Tri-Cities, I've always lived on Vancouver Street, either like
East side, Kenwood.
Yeah, bro. I always stayed there. Like our first house was right there. My aunt used to live right off of Vancouver, right there in the projects. We stayed with her, and then my other aunt lives right there on 3rd in Vancouver, so I stayed with her. And then with Fonzie, when I moved in with them, they live on Yelm, but it's like basically on 4th in Vancouver. And so I've always lived off of Vancouver, like 7th in Vancouver, 3rd, 4th, all up and down that street. But I've always lived off of there. Even when I moved in with my uncle, bro, I lived with my uncle for like, I don't know, it was like months or whatever. But anyways, he lives on 15th in Vancouver. So I was like, yep, I'll just pull up to your house, you know.
That's cool.
And so, yeah, man, so Couver was that. And it was Couver, bro, we had so many different names, but it was like Couver doesn't mean anything. Like Vancouver does, right?
Yeah.
Vancouver got the street name, got Vancouver, Washington, Vancouver, Canada. But Couver itself, it doesn't mean anything. And I was like, that was so interesting to me because I was like, bro, just like the alphabet, you know, somebody gave these attributes to these letters. I was like, I want to see what I can associate with this word that doesn't mean anything, like something that I could define myself. And even since the jump, even since the beginning, even in my naive way of thinking and maybe even slight arrogance of like just believing that I could draw or design anything, I was like, man, I want something that doesn't mean anything because like, I was like, what if I want to do furniture, right? What if I want to do spaces? And what if I want to do not just clothes, like so many other things like that you can design.
A couch, that'd be sick.
The possibilities are endless in that regard.
Yeah.
You put yourself at that point. So
yeah. And so from the jump, I was like, man, like I just want to design anything and everything. And so yeah, man. And so we started Couver, and Couver is my baby. I love that. I think it's the best brand in the world, bro.
Hey,
What year did you start
Couver.
that? 2014 or
It was
earlier?
2012, man.
2012?
Yeah.
2012?
But the thing was, we worked on it for like so long, bro. It was like we worked on it for like a year. And we never told nobody because, bro, like we tried to learn screen printing. We tried to learn, like I like honed down on like trying to design and become a designer, right? But like, bro, I've been working on Illustrator. If you guys know what Adobe is, like any Adobe Pro. So Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator. I've been working on Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator since I was in like 6th grade because I used to torrent that stuff. So hopefully I don't get sued, right? But like I used to torrent.
I only had Microsoft Paint.
Yeah, oh really? Yeah, dude, bro. I started there too. I had to graduate because I was like, man, like I just wanted to do more. And then when that teacher, his wife was my teacher in 6th grade, and she was always like, you need to draw. There's this other kid named Jordan that was like so good too at drawing, and me and Jordan would always, they would like make us compete, but it was like crazy to me because I was like, bro, we're both so good. Like, I'm not better than you at some things, but I know you're not better than me at other things, right? Mm-hmm. And so me and him would draw, and there's this other kid, I forgot his name, but he was amazing too. And And so I would always draw, but then seeing some things like some on that 50 millimeter website, I would go on there daily, and then I was like, oh, like, I wonder how they did that. And then so I just started like looking stuff up, found Photoshop, found Illustrator. I was like, I'm gonna torrent these because there's no way I'm paying $600 for this, you know?
Right.
And so, yeah, man. And so I've always been working on those. And so fast forward to when we started the brand, I was like, okay, I need to actually get proficient in this program and like good at it. And so, bro, I just started doing like online YouTube University.
YouTube
baby.
U, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that on your page.
Yeah, bro. It's like that's where I learned everything. You know, I didn't go to like even when I went to UW or like when I got accepted, bro. I got accepted for like I don't even know what I applied for. I think it might have been like business. I was trying to get into business school there, but like even then it was like I don't even remember, bro. I was like communications or something like that. It wasn't even design because I was like, if I'm going to school,
Yeah.
I'm going for something else, right?
Yeah, that's how I felt, dude. I wanted to go into filmmaking, but then I was like, my mom was like, what are you going to do with that? I was like, all right, I'll go to business, I guess.
Dude, yeah. It's like, man. And so I've always said, like, worst case scenario, you know, if I fail at whatever I'm doing, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do computer science because
Yeah.
I might not love it, but I know that I'm going to be getting paid.
Yeah,
so
Yeah,
that's,
sure,
you know,
man.
no doubt for that.
it's a little give and take. And so, yeah, man. So around 2012 is
Okay.
when we started the brand. And then, bro, we were learning like screen printing on this little machine. It's called a Udo. And it was like from Hobby Lobby or Michael's or something. And, bro, the struggle was real, bro. It was crazy. And then we were working on that thing for a few months. And then, and that's why, man, that's why I tell you guys, like, the hardest part is, I guess the hardest part isn't starting. I guess the hardest part is, like, keeping up with it. You
Yeah, I see
keep
that.
doing something, right? It's like, and so, because, like, it's easy to do it once and then just never do it again, right? So just imagine you guys were like, hey, we're going to do a podcast. You guys do all this once.
Yep. And
And then you never do it again, right? But you guys keep doing it, and that's what makes something real.
Consistency.
Yeah, that's what makes it like an actual thing is that you keep doing it. So me and Fonzie, we were like, bro, we did landscaping. So we did landscaping in the daytime, and we'd be off at like 1 or 12 or 1 or whatever. And in the afternoons, that's what we would do. I would be drawing ideas for shirts and stuff, and then he would be practicing like, hey, like, let's try to do this, you know, like, let's try to print it. And eventually we kind of outgrew that Udo system, and then we invested into like an actual screen printing press, and then we outgrew that one and we got a better setup. But all it was is like consistency, bro. Like, people will be like, how you get to where you are now? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I wake up and I just do it, I guess, you know.
Do it, yeah.
But it wasn't like I've never worked other places, you know. Like that's part of the sacrifice. It's part of the dedication and the it's part of the struggle, man. Like, you got to struggle to make it somewhere, right? Whether it's going to school is a struggle, bro. People be like, oh, that's not a struggle. Yes, it is. You know, you got to get up and study, and you got to write these papers and do these things. Like, that's a struggle. And so for me, that's what it was, man. I used to be a tutor, and I would teach Spanish reading and writing. I did that for like 7 years or something like that. And I literally just quit last year because I just came to a fork in the road where I was like, okay, am I going to do this tutoring thing for the rest of my life, or I'm going to be a designer? And so I was like, well, I would much rather take my risk on being a designer and seeing where I could take that versus, you know, being a tutor and stuff. Because, man, those kids, they always be like, how you draw so good and you work here? Good question, dude. I don't know. And so yeah, man. And so I did that. That was my day job. I would work there in the mornings, 8 to 12, and then I get off at 12, and then I would hit it hard, man. I would try to draw or, you know, design something. And, you know, I made connections through Instagram. I got to meet people on there that gave me opportunities, like that Felt one.
Yeah, that one was sick. Yeah, if you guys are watching, you guys should check that out. That his design work on that is sick. Felt.
Yeah, man, shout out Felt. That dude Chris, he kind of like was the first person to put me on. Because even then, bro, so like this was I don't remember when I started working with him, but it was a long time ago. And he hit me up on Instagram. Was like, "Can you do this?" I said, "Yeah." And then he's like, "All right, cool. Let me see this." All right, cool. And I knew that brand from Tumblr.
Oh,
Dang, it all comes back to Tumblr,
Yeah.
man.
Bro,
What the
Tumblr.
heck?
bro. And then the
Dang.
reason I heard of his brand was because Frank Ocean was wearing a felt sweater. And so I was like, bro, there's no way this guy really
Wow.
owns this brand. Hit me up, talking about, can you draw this? Like, hell yeah, I can draw that.
That's so sick.
And again, like, even what he asked me to do was like this crazy thing. It was like Doberman. It was like a German Shepherd in like a Sphinx pose in front of like barbed wire, all these crazy things. I was like, hell yeah. Even though in my mind I was like, damn, that's gonna be kind of hard, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, I did it, and then he was like, bro, you're crazy. Like, you are really good. And I was like, man, thank you, appreciate it. And at that time, I was trying to figure out how to be a designer, right? I was working at the school, and I was like, man, at that time, because he was like, how much you charge? And then I was like, ooh. I was like, I'm gonna be honest, man. And I feel like that's my like go-to is I'm always super transparent with people, but I'm like, I told him, I was like, bro, I have never charged more than $50 for anything that I've ever drawn in my life, right? And so I was like, so to be honest, bro, like even to draw this thing, like I know your brand, I've like followed your brand, so like I'll just do it for free. And he was like, nah. I was like, well, I mean, you can give me $50, that's cool. And then he was like, I'm gonna give you $500, that sound cool? And then I was like, yeah, like what? Yeah. And so like he showed me, because he was like, yo, because he was from New York, he was based out of New York at that time, right?
Yeah.
They started their brand in Florida. I want to say it's in Miami. And they came up with like all these other brands. There's another brand called Scoundrels from Tumblr. Bro, it's a crazy story. Okay, so
Tumblr.
yeah, Tumblr. So like it was all these brands from like and all these photographers, all these people from like Miami and stuff. And bro, I was so up on it. I was like, man, like I want to move, bro. I was even thinking, I want to move to Miami after I put my foot in the ground. Told my mom I'm never move again. I was like, I'm moving to Miami, right? And so, anyways, fast forward a few years, this guy hits me up. He taught me that, like, he just showed me, was like, yo, in New York, your art is worth way more than $50, bro. Like, you need to be charging people. And so ever since then, I was like, all right, my base rate is $500. Anybody ask me for anything, it's $500, right?
Yeah.
And bro, and that's the way he paid me, small or big. He was like, 500, send it. And it was crazy to me because I was like, he got an accountant, bro. Like he don't just send him the money, you know?
Yeah.
And so yeah, man. And so like that was Chris. Shout out to him and Felt and all those boys. They're doing crazy things, man. They just did a collaboration with like Batman, and so it's insane. Yeah, man.
With Batman?
Yeah, the movie that
The
just
movie that
released.
just came out.
Dude, that movie's
Yeah.
sick.
Dude, I want to go
I haven't
see
checked
it.
it out yet.
Zoe Kravitz, shout out.
Bro, I love her.
Yeah, I like Catwoman, yeah.
I just got to throw that in.
Yeah.
Dude. I love Zoe as a human, man.
Yeah, I mean, she looks like a good soul for sure.
She is. It's so
That's cool.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
and
so where's like the state? Like, where's like the state of Coover? Would you say like where
Right
like,
now?
Yeah, like where are we at right now? with Coover?
Man, I got a lot of plans for Couver, and what I'm doing, bro. I haven't put nothing out since like I don't even know when it was, but like someone just bought a hat the other day. But I haven't put stuff out in a long time because like when I do things, like it's just like my like philosophy, I guess. It's just like I love things that are just elegant, and I love things that are sophisticated. And sometimes like I love making things and then you look at it and you're like, that was meant to be there, right?
Yeah.
And so like you look at this Carhartt sweater and like the fact that they put that little patch right there, you're like, wow, that's dope, right? And then like even taking it farther, bro, like if that patch ever rips off, right, that patch underneath it's gonna be darker black than it is on the rest of the sweater, right? And so even after that patch doesn't exist, you'll still know it's a Carhartt sweater because of the fade.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's the stuff that I love. And so like I started looking at the brand that way, to where I was like, all right, cool, like I want to make things that just belong, right? And I want to make good things. Like, bro, like I've always charged what I felt the product deserves, right? And so like people be like, oh, you should charge X amount for your shirts. And I was like, I should, but I don't feel like it's right because I wouldn't pay that, right? And so I've always priced it out that way. But I do, bro, I love like just fashion, man. I've just been...
Fashion is cool, man.
Fashion's insane, bro. It's crazy. And it's like, I've been like so in love with all that stuff, man. Like, bro, going back to Tumblr, right? It's like you guys remember that picture of like Kanye and Virgil and like Don C and like what's the other guy, Mike Williams, and like all these people, and like Ivan Jasper's there, all these people.
Was it outside?
Yeah, outside of Fashion Week. Remember?
Yeah,
and they're like all dressed all,
yeah,
they figured it out.
Kanye's always been like kind of like ahead of the curve with fashion though, right?
100%.
Like remember when he was wearing like the jean jackets, like that was cool, and then he
the leather pants.
Leather pants.
I wanted leather pants, bro.
I still do.
Dude, it's a vibe, bro. That's why I love fashion, because like you could wear something and you could tell people who you are. Like, you ever look at somebody and then just by the way they dress, you're like, I know he listened to Blink 182, right? I know he be listening to that. Yeah. Just by the way they're dressed.
Yeah, he's a dad, or he's an accountant.
Yeah,
for sure.
This dude's a lumberjack, because I just know he be wearing those flannels like that, right? Yeah. And so like, and it's just so cool. And a lot of people, like modern day society, bro, we don't even like consider it as much as we do, especially in like places like Tri-Cities. You go to LA, bro, people think about what they wear every single day, right? They got, bro, there's people that plan out flight fits, right?
I'm sure.
Hey, flight fits are important, but
I want comfy on flight fits,
dude. I'm saying, but there's people that get fitted out, bro. They just be doing the most, you know.
Yeah, get that IG pickup. So yeah,
that's right. Yeah. And so yeah, man. And so not to sidetrack, I told you I'll be rambling. So like,
no, it's all good. I like fashion, man. I don't get I don't get time to talk about that stuff because these guys don't really talk about it.
Yeah, man.
I mean, Arthur's coming in hot with that Kansas.
Yeah, he's repping Kansas hard. Like it.
What is that?
Did
throwback?
You thrift that?
What was that?
Did you thrift that?
No. I got this over in Boise on it's some sort of shopping center called Village.
Oh, dope.
Boise, Idaho. And
yeah.
they had like a sports store there, and I was like,
dude,
this is dope.
I
saw when I first saw that, I was like, that's hot.
Everybody points it out. I'm kind of like you. Like I like having stuff kind of where people are like, what is that? I like that, you know?
Yeah.
And it could be the randomest things. I kind of want to get pick into your head a little bit.
Go for it.
What kind of art do you think is more effective, like the overly detailed art or the more simplistic art? In your view,
man, the thing about simple art is that it looks simple, right? But it's a lot harder to arrive to than something that's detailed and grandiose or whatever. It's and even then, I feel like things that are very articulated, right? Say like Michelangelo's like Sistine Chapel, right? That thing is a thing of beauty, right? It's a masterwork, but it's also very simple because everything that is put down it's meant to translate so perfectly, right? Like each story is told with just the essentials, right? Like even Adam and God, right? The finger thing. There, what it articulates, like he could have put so much in there, and even when it was freshly done, it had the colors were much more vivid or whatever. But if you think about it, it's very, very simple. And so the hardest things to arrive to is a simple anything, a simple graphic, a simple logo, a simple painting, a simple anything. It's just so hard because like you could put a canvas up and you could just throw all sorts of colors. You could do anything, right? You can make it super detailed if you wanted to, or you could just put all these things. But to deduce and to subtract and to keep only what's essential and what's necessary, that's so hard because you're like, should I have taken that off or should I keep it, right?
You know the way I think about it, like you guys listen to J. Cole?
Of course.
Who's that?
Like,
that's good. Of course.
Like if you listen to J. Cole's
Wet
lyrics,
Dreams.
they're so simple, but they're so effective. Like that's the way I kind of look at art too. Like,
bro, same with music. Like
he makes it look so easy. Like he's just talking, and you're like, You ever try to write a song? I try to write
Bro,
a lot of songs.
They
don't come out right.
I don't write
wanna hear one of those.
songs, but I love.
You don't
writing.
want to hear one of those.
That's on the
Yeah,
Patreon.
Trust me.
I love writing. I do. I will say that I love writing poetry. I've always like wrote poetry or like wrote just things in general, like about my life or whatever. And I do love that. And it's so hard to arrive to that. But the thing is that you did a good job, right? You'll know you did a good job when someone sees it. And this is the best and worst compliment at the same time. Someone sees it and they're like, I could have did that. It's like, you could have, but you didn't though.
Yeah.
I did that.
I love that you said that, dude, because
Yeah.
that's like how I feel sometimes with the podcast, even, or anything, right?
Yeah.
Like they'll say, yo, you should do it this way, that way, that way.
It's like,
right?
you do it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
like-
want to do it this way.
yeah, exactly. So I get that.
And yeah, man, but that's how you know you're on the right track. Somebody will tell you, yo, I could have did that. It's like, you could have, but you didn't.
Right.
Yeah.
And how many songs, what you listen to and you're like, man, I could have made up that song. Or like people like, bro, Mark Rothko is like this artist, and all he does is like, I mean, he has like these color panels, right? And I think they're beautifully layered and all this. But people look at them and people be like, oh, I could have did that. Or Jackson Pollock, right?
No, I know
Jackson
Mark Rothko.
Yeah.
Bro, for real, like in college we had this play and a couple of my buddies were in it and it was like a depiction of his life.
Oh yeah.
And it made me resonate with the art so much more. But I thought like those like it's my background on my desktop right now. It's
Really?
like his art because
Yeah.
I think it's just sick to look at.
Dude, his stuff is crazy, man. Like, again, like, our best and worst thing that we all as humans have is our mind, dude. Because, like, it could be the best thing because you could allow yourself to love and welcome and accept and attract anything that you want. Or you could definitely block yourself out of everything, right? Like, you ever think of, like, bro, you could be walking by, right here. And you're like, ooh, this place look nasty. I'm never going in there, right?
Yeah.
And you'll never know that this place is amazing, right? Or like, we block ourselves from so many things. Like that one's very literal, right? But like, if just like people be like, oh, I don't like this type of music. It's like, you ever listen to it? It's great, Or like, oh, I don't read books. It's like, okay, like, you ever listen to books? Like,
It's easy to find the negative though in
it's-
anything, right?
Bro, it's so easy. And that's what I feel like I personally, like, I was there, right? Where I was telling myself, like, I don't know if I could be an artist. I don't know if I could do this. Bro, I was my biggest obstacle.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
like, we as people are always like that. And it's insane. And yeah, man, it's just so crazy where people are like, you could block yourself from having like an amazing life. Or people like, bro, I'm guilty of it myself, but like, I don't do it as often. But when people be like, well, I'm bored, go do something, dude.
Yeah,
You got
yeah.
like, bro, if you got more than, let's say, $100 in your bank account, that's it. That's all you need. You don't even need money to go have fun. You just go to the park. You could look at art. You could look at books. You could go to the library. You could do. There's
A lot of free resources.
Yeah, you could listen to music, bro, and it's pay for a subscription to Spotify. Don't even do that. Listen to the shuffle on what's the other one? The one that shuffles your music all the time.
Pandora?
Pandora, dude. Listen to Pandora. Do something. But
Hate Pandora.
being bored, man, that's like being bored. That's where you die
Yeah.
mentally.
That's what you're talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think we were talking about this with someone else, but it's like the same thing with like COVID. Like everyone was stuck in their house, and then you could have done a couple of things, right? You could have just sat there and chilled. But like I feel like the people that did that probably aged a little bit more. Or like maybe
Yeah.
just got a little bit more complacent. And I was guilty of that early on. I'm not gonna lie, but
No.
Laziness creeped in around that time for sure for me a little bit.
yeah.
Dude, and the thing is, like, I always say, or like, again, it's just a philosophy, right? Like, everybody has their own philosophy that they abide by, even consciously or subconsciously or even unconsciously, right? There's things that you do, and it's just your philosophy, the way you live life, right? And so, like, how many people pre-COVID did you know that was like, man, if I had the time I do this.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Everyone.
Everybody.
Everyone. And the thing is, like, bro, it don't matter how accomplished someone is or how unaccomplished someone is, right? Everybody got a dream. Every single person in this world has a dream. And so, like, COVID presented everyone, literally the whole globe at once, with that opportunity. It was like, all right, if you had time, now you got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
What you gonna do?
Who's gonna seize it? What are you gonna do with it?
Exactly.
Yep.
And like it's cool. Like people took that time to relax, right? But there's people that work super hard. Okay, great. Relax. But at the end of the day, it's like there's this like I don't know if it's an idiom really, but it's like a little anecdote, a little story of this guy tells this kid like, hey, you know, I want you to mow the lawn. And then the kid was like, okay, yeah, I'll do it later. He was like, okay, that's fine. But don't forget to do it though, right? And I feel like that story is so powerful because like, again, like with those people, it's like, I wish I had time, whatever. It's like, all right, cool, now you have it, right? It's like, but don't forget to do it though. Like, you know, again, that's why our mind is our biggest proponent, or it could be our biggest obstacle because we could hold ourselves back. You know, you ever think like people be, it's so crazy, man. People are just insane because it's like, you ever run into a problem or even like consider a situation, right? And you can think off the bat, your mind, without even thinking, bro, you could think of 10, 15, 20 possible, bro. Okay, this is the best example. As guys, all guys here. Okay, you see Shorty looking cute, right? She across the bar over there.
Okay.
You sitting, and you're like, And in your mind, instantly, you start thinking of 15 things could go wrong. You could stutter. You could trip on your way there. Like, is my breath even, like, do I look good today? Damn, like, your mind just starts going, bro. You see how automatic the mind is? It's like, that's just what it does, right?
Yeah.
But if you train your mind just as easily, you can think of 15 things that could go right. Yo, I can make her laugh. I smell great. I'm this, I'm that, you know, whatever. And you could train your mind to do that. But more often than not, people just think of like, oh, it's just so easy to be negative. Like you're saying, it's just so easy.
That's so true though. It's like,
Yep.
the fact is like your human body is moving closer to her.
Yeah.
You have control over your mind. Which side do you want to like lay on, you know?
And that's the thing. Like, that's all it is. And so like, and again, like even with art, right? Like for me, I've always had this innate belief where I was like, there's nothing in this world I cannot draw. I've just always truly believed that. Like if anything, if I were to die today, I would probably put that on my tombstone. Like, I just knew I could draw it all, right?
I can't draw a horse, man. I tell you that. That's like the hardest thing to draw.
Bro, and the thing is crazy because I be like, people tell me like, oh, I wish I could draw. It's like, no, you can. It's a skill, baby. Anybody can learn it. All it
Really?
does is take time. Yeah, all it does, bro.
I
But,
learned,
like,
I
I've
learned
seen
that
those-
with haircutting. Like, I came into it with absolutely zero knowledge of what I was doing, and you slowly build up those details that, in the grand scheme, once you build all those details up, whether it's doing a lineup or doing shear work, the fade, it all sort of comes together, and then it becomes a polished product. Over time, though.
Yeah, and it's just a skill, man. Like, you want to be a writer, write every single day. You want to be a singer, sing every single day. If you do it consistently, again, if you do it consistently, bro, there's nothing in this world you cannot do. You just choose it and then do it. And that's the craziest thing to me, because I finally am in that state where I'm like, yeah, man, this is who I am. Like, bro, the change for me was when I started introducing myself, and people, you know, you had the good old like, oh, so how you doing? Good. Oh, so what do you do? You know, when I started introducing myself as like a designer, I'm an artist. You know, I'm an illustrator. I'm this or I'm that. Wherever the conversation goes, but it's like once I owned that, then my life started changing, because like I had always believed it in my head, right? And like, you know, inside of each person here, inside of each person you meet, there's a world inside them, right? And then this is our physical world. This is where we live at. And so outside of that, it was different. So inside of myself, I always believed that. I always knew it. But outside of myself, I was always like, I'm a tutor, you know.
Yeah.
I do a lot. I'm landscaping, you know. I do all sorts of things. And so, but it wasn't until I started saying like, nah, I'm a designer.
Owning it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
owning
that
it. It's
mindset,
like,
man.
just saying like, yeah, I'm this.
Yeah.
And so like, bro, that's when my life started changing to where I'm at now. You know what I'm saying? And like, doing the things that I do, I feel like I'm super blessed, super lucky. You know, like I said, like my biggest inspiration is that I get to wake up in the morning, you know, and bro, I draw for a living. Like how that sounds like a child's dream, you know, because it is. But I feel like I willed it, you know. I mean, like I really stuck to it, and even in the days where I didn't believe in myself, I still did it. You know what I mean? And now we're here.
I love what you said though. Like consistency makes something real.
Yeah.
Like that's like that.
It's a takeaway,
Whether it's
for
like
sure.
whether it's like working out or if you want to change the dynamic in your relationship, consistency at anything like makes it real. Like consistency at saying, "Hey, I'm an artist. I design. I do this." Like, you know, if you do that a lot of times, like I mean, that's what he is,
Bro, even like literally anything, man. Like the gym, I love working out. I love just being there because it's like it's the physical version of manifesting, right? Like manifesting something, you just got to believe it. Like I said, you just got to believe it with your whole heart, whole mind, everything. Do it every single day, and you're going to get there. It might take, you know, just because it took this person a month and it took you 1 year doesn't mean that you're any less talented or any less skilled. It just means it took you a little longer. It's all right. It's cool. Don't beat yourself up. You still that. But, you know, that's manifesting with the mind, right? And the gym is the physical version of that. Because, like, bro, you go to the gym one day, you're not going to come out with a six-pack.
Shredded,
You're not going to come
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you're not going to come out shredded, man. You got to keep going. You got to build a routine. You got to build a habit. You got to truly immerse yourself in that lifestyle to see the results, right?
Exactly.
Just like anything else. You want to be an artist, bro, dive into it. And do it every single day, but you're gonna get there. Anybody can get there. You want to draw horses, bro? Just keep drawing horses.
Dude, what I want to do, one of my biggest goals is to, actually, before I get onto that, what I want to say is that like sometimes I get what you're saying too. Like you gotta like be consistent with who you are, but I also like not putting myself in a box. Like I don't want to be known as the podcaster guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't want to be known as something else because I want to do so many things. Like dude, my biggest goal going back is like getting like a short film and like submitting it to Tribeca or Sundance and just like working with people I want to work with, you know, and just like creating emotion, you know, like you said, like maybe every time someone watches it, like they grow in life, they come back to the film and they resonate on a different level. So that's like the art form that I like the most. But like you said, it's about just doing it, man.
Bro, you guys seen dang, what movie was that? Dang, I'll be blanking, dude. But it was Inventing Anna or Inventing.
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty new though. I haven't checked it out
Haven't
yet.
seen it yet.
No? Oh man, that girl.
Worth it?
Bro, it's
it
a
out.
watch. Definitely watch it because, like, what she does, and that's the thing. Like, society is crazy because we box things in and we label things, and you know, if you don't do it a certain way or the way that society wants you to or whatever, then you might be deemed crazy or whatever. Anyways,
Yeah.
that girl, she does this insane thing. But anyways, there's a small excerpt in that whole series where this girl, she says like, that's her thing, right? She's like, oh, I'm saving money to have a feature film or this and that, and then and she gets caught up with this girl, but then her boyfriend, her man at the time, he's kind of getting like fed up with her, and he's like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I'm saving money for my film. And then he's like, no, you're not. Like, what you're doing is you're giving yourself an excuse to postpone it because what you're scared of is not doing it correctly, right?
That's me, dude.
Yeah. And so, and what he tells her, he's like, you got a phone that has a camera on it. Like, you could record certain, you know, whatever you're thinking about, even if it's not the best thing, but at least you have it, right? Because having something's better than having nothing, right? And so that's like, it goes back to that little Rolex thing. I did that because I just wanted to see if I was capable. And like, once I did it, I was like, yeah, that's right, I am. And then there's other things. Like, I have another one on the Couver Instagram that was like this lamp. And then I was like, I just want to design a lamp, and if I did that, what would that look like for me? And so I did it, and then I was like, that's what it would look like. That one's fire, and I have like so many more in my notebook, and so I just so I just allow myself to anything. Like if I want to do it, and that's the beauty in being that way, of just allowing yourself to do whatever. But I also believe it goes hand in hand. You know, if you just don't commit as well, then it's also like, you know, it's also hurtful because you just got to do something. And so, but I mean, you know, everybody's route is different, man. And I would love to work on a film somehow, some way.
Man, let's manifest it right now. You heard it here.
Bro, A24, you familiar with A24?
Yo, yeah, for sure.
A24 is insane.
It looks
They're
amazing.
killing it, bro. I love everything that they do. It's just like, you could just do a film, right? And then you could do an A24 film. It's like, oh man, A24 just be doing the most. And it's like, but it's those things where you're like, it makes sense that they did it this way, right?
Yeah.
Like Euphoria, bro, they shot that on film, right?
Yeah.
Had they not shot it on film, I mean, maybe you could do film effect on post edits or whatever, but the fact that they did it that way, you're like, this makes sense.
Yeah,
you know,
dude, and you know the look now. Like if you want to, even if you wanted to do a photo shoot, you can be like, oh, can I get that Euphoria look?
Exactly,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly, bro. And like that's the bro. Again, okay.
Speaking about short films, you grew up Vancouver Street, right?
Yeah.
So you know Zentel Canyon?
Yes.
I didn't really want to say this idea, but I always wanted to make a horror movie in Zentel Canyon.
Dude.
I think that's a great spot.
Bro, do it. Zentel Canyon.
Ball on a budget.
Yes. Bro, give it Bailey, write a plot, do something, bro.
Yeah.
That's a fireplace.
Maybe that's a collaboration right there.
There we go.
You
That'd
know?
be sick. Yeah. We'll have to have cool design. I mean, the new Batman. You see the new Batman, like how it's the fat letters.
I have not.
Dude, it takes up like the whole screen, but it just has like enough carving in the word so you know it's Batman.
Hey, it looked like a Ford Raptor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They got the whole Ford name on the hood or on the grill, dude. It's so crazy.
But that makes a film, dude. Like I remember it sucks because I remember being in relationships where we'd watch a movie and I'd want to be like, oh, Quentin Tarantino, like just the type that he has, like it just makes you know, like, oh, I'm about to enter into this like universe, like the Quentin Tarantino universe, like that yellow, like it brings out an emotion in me. So,
bro, same
that's
with
important.
like, bro, Stanley Kubrick. These are all people that like they love their craft. But bro, when you love your craft so damn much and like you're just so into it, and you allow yourself to give dimension to what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's what they did. They gave making dimension, right? Stanley Kubrick with what's that one movie with Tom Cruise in it? I don't even remember.
Man,
but
Tom Cruise has been like in 50
Yeah, he's
films.
been a lot.
yeah. Oh, it's called Eyes Wide Shut. And in that movie, every time there's like Christmas lights present, it means that it's a fantasy world, right?
Okay.
And so what's happening in the movie is not actually happening. And the only way you know that, because it's never explicitly said, he don't even say it himself, but it's just people like went back and watched it, figured that out, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
But Stanley Kubrick knew that from the jump. How crazy is that, right? And he gave dimension to what he was doing. Like he just loved it so much. He was like, ooh, you know how we're gonna represent this? By doing this. But we're not gonna tell nobody about it, right?
Yeah.
Insane.
I have ideas for like my film, like things like that too.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it, but like,
Dude.
you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I have like little things, like, you know, what they call it,
Easter
Easter
eggs?
eggs. Yeah.
Easter eggs, yeah.
Something like that. I think it's cool when people do that.
Bro, I love that. Anytime that you can sense that a person did something and you're like, wow, they really did that. Like, and you think about it, those are the things that I love. That inspires me.
You guys ever hear a song and then you like listen it over and over, and like the 50th time you catch that one line, you're like, oh, that's what Jay-Z's talking about right there.
Yeah.
What the heck? Like,
Bro, I love when you see things like that, or you catch a reference, or you get put on to whatever, you know, like it's just a way to expand and grow and just, man, it's just beautiful. That's why I love art. It's doing something, and then like I do the same, bro. I do the same thing. Look, a lot of people be asking like the Coover logo. I say, how you did that? And I was like, man, I had this idea of flipping the Rolling Stones logo, but I didn't want to do it so obvious. And so I did and I thought about it for like a year. And then finally I was like, ooh, I think I have the perfect image in my head of what I'm supposed to make it look like. And then I did it. And bro, everybody, like they so gravitated towards that logo. And I feel like it's because of that energy, you know, that was put into it or whatever. And like people were like, hey, what is that from? Like it looks so familiar, but I'm not sure what it is. And that's the pinnacle that I try to like put my designs on is like, I have a reference and then I use it, but I want to use enough of the reference to where it makes you engaged and you're like, what is this? You know, where's this from? But also not enough of the reference to where you get it and it's obvious, right? You just like, that's the point in design where I try to touch or I try to reach, you know? Because then, you know, the way I think about it, I'm like, okay, you know, obviously from like a salesman standpoint, I was like, you know, how am I going to get people to just think about my shirts or think about my whatever. Anyways, I thought about that and I was like, ooh, that's so perfect because then people are like, you ever get that question stuck in your head and you're like, man, what is that from? And you're trying to figure it out. And then when you finally get it, it's like a little like moment of eureka. You're like, oh, and then it makes you love it that much more because you're like, yo, I understood it. I got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's so personable and it's like, that's something that you can't purchase. You know what I mean? Like you just can't buy that. I can't, you know, with whatever, there's no money in the world that I could purchase to make you feel that way, right? Yeah. But doing these things through design, I can get that out of you for free, right? Yeah. If it's done correctly or if it's done with intention. And so, yeah, man, I love doing that.
You ever make a piece where you're like, I'm the only person that's gonna have this, like?
Oh, all day, bro. I got this one right here. I got a hat at home. One of one. Yeah, man. No,
it's a good feeling, huh? Like sometimes, like.
Bro, you ever think of an idea? Okay, so like those ideas you got for your film, right?
Yeah.
And you got that idea, the one that you said for Zinto Canyon. Okay. You ever think about that idea and then you have the thought that says, man, there's 7 billion plus people in this world, right? Okay. I say this to myself all the time. And I'm like, man, 7 billion plus people in this world, right? Yeah. And I'm the only one that knows this thing exists. I'm the only one that has this idea right now. Like, you know how incredible that is, bro? That is amazing. Yeah. Like, that's why I said there's a world within you and there's a world outside of you, right? Yeah. And, bro, just to have that thought is just so incredible. That in and of itself, bro, when I finished the Couver logo, I loved it. I was like, man, I love it so. I was sitting at my computer, bro, like just like I was like, I did that. I was so happy, right? But the thing that got me the happiest was literally when I had shown absolutely no one, and I sat there staring at it for like 20 minutes because I was like, this doesn't exist anywhere else.
Anywhere. Mm-hmm.
Besides this computer right here in my room right now, and I'm the only person looking at this. In the world.
That's crazy when you put it that way. Yeah.
Insane, bro. And like just
Jay, are you your worst critic? What do you say? Or how do you judge yourself, your art? Like, do you ever look at something and you're like, this ain't it, man? You just can't convince yourself to like something?
Definitely.
Even though maybe it's super dope to
bro, my brother Fonzo, he get mad at me sometimes because he's like, bro, you got so much good stuff in your notebook. Just put something out. And I'm like, nah, it ain't it. Like, it ain't ready. And, like, I really believe, man, like, I know it sounds crazy, but I really believe that designs have a life. Designs have a life that they're supposed to live. And sometimes it just, if it ain't right, it ain't right, you know? Yeah. And you'll just feel that. It's all feeling. It's all emotion. And it's just like I said, like when I seen that Couver logo, I was like, yo, this is it. That's the one right there, right? Yeah. And like, same thing with the Jesus piece, you know, Jesus doing the peace sign. I was like,
that was sick.
Yeah, it was a reference, actually. It was like from a Playboy magazine. I saw this Jesus, and then I was like, damn, that Jesus would be sick, but if it was like doing this peace sign, that would be fire.
Yeah.
Right? Because like you see, and the thing was that it was like, to me, it was so like tongue in cheek, because like, you know, you always see those like religious like paintings from like the Renaissance, right? And then Jesus always doing like some weird stuff like this. Like, what did that even mean, right? And I was like, he just need to be doing the peace sign, because like it's Jesus, bro. If I met Jesus, I do not want him to be serious.
Did you say this one right here?
Yeah. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
That's the best one.
I didn't see you do it, but I like
Yeah.
instantly.
Everyone
thought
knows
of
that.
I was
means.
like, what is he doing, bro? That's look weird. Like, you see something, bro.
If you see a girl, you should just do that. See what happens.
Bro, if you sitting across the bar from Shorty and then you just there like this, she gonna be like,
It's game over right there.
she gonna be like, dude, he's weird. And so, yeah, man. So I thought about that. I was like, man, Jesus gotta be doing the peace sign, because like it's Jesus, bro. Like he promotes peace, dude. Like he should be this.
That's his thing.
Yeah. Anyways, man. Yeah. So like, I am definitely my worst critic for sure. But like, I also am like, I feel like I am my biggest hype man, because I believe I'm capable of anything, right? So like, you know, I do these designs and I love, bro. You know what designs are for me? This is crazy. Another crazy concept. But like every time I draw something, I could tell you exactly where I was and when I did it.
Really?
Oh,
It's like a time machine, bro. Like I'll be like, oh yeah, I was sitting with, you know, Josh and Bedison when I did this, you know, squirrel or whatever, or we did this and this, and you know, whatever. I can remember those things, and it's not till like I see it, like, and I go through my notebook and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that one, but I was doing this, and it's just like a cool little like memory, you know.
I think that's cool. I mean, I'm sure people influence your art too. Like, there's certain people maybe
Oh,
a
for
little bit
sure.
tied to certain things, but yeah, man, dude, we can go into so many questions.
Yeah,
You
we
know,
might
why
have to
don't-
have you on season 2.
Yeah,
Bro,
we're gonna,
yeah.
We're gonna have you on
back.
again
For
when
sure.
you're, you know, check up on you, and cause like I want to ask you about like the little baby angels that you have. Like I think
Oh,
that's a sick thing. I've noticed
bro,
that. Like
yeah.
I think that's cool, and like how you have poetry with your work too. I think that's a
Yeah.
cool like touch. Like I associate that like with your work. So.
Dope, man.
But yeah,
Thank you.
man, we appreciate you being on, dude.
Yeah,
we
thank
could go.
you.
We could
Thank
go
you,
for
man.
hours
Thank
talking
you,
about
man.
stuff, man.
Bro, I
Appreciate it.
told you I'll be rambling, and my mind is everywhere and nowhere
Oh, we
all
love
at
it.
once. Yeah,
That's
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, we appreciate it, man. And so thank you guys for watching episode 4. Come to Flight Tap and Table.
Yes, sir.
You know, check it out. It's a good vibe here. Get a beer, whatnot. Hang out with your girl.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, like and subscribe, share. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
And also mention the podcast. You get 10% off your whole order here at Flight.
That's
Check
right.
it out.
Pull up the YouTube with
Let's go, dude.
subscribed
Yeah.
to verify that you are a listener.
Yep. Subscribe. Tell your friend. Tell your girlfriend. Tell
10% off.
your mom.
Yep.
Everybody.
Everybody.
We
Well,
out.
hey, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it,
Thank you
Jack.
guys,
Thank
man.
you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.